Hey there. Welcome to the Eurostep, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN. I am one of your hosts, Ty Windisch. I'm joined as always by my dear friend. We were just talking about everything but the Bucks before we started recording, trying to put it off, but we've got to do it on Monday morning because we were both, fittingly for this Bucks season, both under the weather yesterday. Rohan Katti. Rohan, how's it going, sir?
Doing better than yesterday, I'll tell you that much. And I hope you are as well, Ty.
Same here. People asked if we were just hungover, which I feel like we have a brand. I was not hungover. I don't know if you were hungover.
Oh, I was.
No, just actually, I don't know if something blew through, if I ate something wrong, but an uncomfortable Sunday in the Windisch household.
And I just get migraines sometimes.
Yeah. Not as fun as what people may have thought when I think Newmock shared in the Discord. We've been going live for most games. We did not go live after Game 4. Figured, don't know how many people really were eager to tune into another pod after a pretty similar story. I mean, Game 3 at least obviously was so exciting. The Bucks almost won. Heartbreaking that they didn't. Game 4, I mean, it was still not a blowout by any means. And I think it was good of the Bucks to keep it a close game. And we'll talk about the Bucks who are responsible for keeping it close. And we'll talk about the ones who are responsible for it not being closer. But I mean, after Game 3, or I think like the day after, somebody tweeted me and was like, it's embarrassing that this is the result. I was like, we have to throw the embarrassing word out the window. No team wins under these. They don't. Like
it's
Giannis.
It's not embarrassing at all. You come into this game, if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, with absolutely zero expectations to win.
You're trying to just steal one. Especially, so for anyone who's not caught up, Giannis, of course, has not played at all this series. He did not make his return for Game 4. We will see on Game 5. We're recording this Monday morning. We will probably get the injury. We will get the injury report this evening. So we'll see. I'm going to guess he and Dame are both going to be doubtful again, but we'll see if anything changes there. And then, after playing 7 minutes of the game, and Dame doesn't play either. Dame, with the Achilles, aggravated it. They sound on the broadcast on TNT. It was a pain tolerance thing, so there's a chance he could come. The broadcaster, I think Spiro, said, it seems like Dame could come back before Giannis again. We'll see. I don't know how source that is or just his vibe when talking to Doc. And then Bobby Portis gets himself ejected 7 minutes into the game. So the Bucks clearly struggling, even with Portis and Lopez without Giannis, of having enough big depth for this series, and especially a more mobile big, because Miles Turner and Obi Toppin, to a lesser extent, has been a huge matchup problem for the Bucks, only really having Brook and Bobby this whole series. Bobby gets himself goated. And the part that kills me, after a Bucks-made basket, swing is like pushing and shoving, and I think it was all just pushing. I mean, the last thing Bobby did, it looked like half push, half swing, but got himself ejected, tangled up with Andrew Nembhard, who's been starting stuff the whole series. You just can't do that. I mean, we can start there.
It's the dumbest thing he's done as a Buck, like by far. It's a complete lack of awareness, of like situational awareness. It's a complete lack of composure. It's letting down every single one of your teammates. It's the dumbest thing he's done as a Buck, like bar none. Like I can't think of anything that comes close to this.
Yeah, I mean, as frustrated as I was watching him play, especially in the first half of Game 3, like, I think I said on the post-game pod, like, it would have been better if they just traded him away and didn't get anything back. I mean, that all sounds good. You need playable bodies. I mean, you needed a good Bobby Portis game if you were going to win this game. Like, there's no two ways about it. Both for, again, they just need bigs. We had Danilo Gallinari minutes in this game. It didn't go great. We'll get to that because there was just no one else. It's Brook Lopez, and there's really no other bigs on this roster. My guy, Chris Livingston, also still sick. Get well soon, Chris Livingston. You might have real run in Game 5 if you can get back for it, bud. But also just as a scorer. I mean, the Bucks just don't have that much scoring. You look at this game, Chris Middleton, 25, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. Just another beyond gutty performance. Didn't have his legs, couldn't hit a three because he injured his other ankle. Was it the first half?
Yes.
Fought through it, wouldn't come out of the game, played almost 40 minutes. I mean, the guy has just been... I mean, there's people right when that happened going, oh, this is why you got to trade him. Like, okay, first, if Miles Turner lands on your ankle, I don't think many players... Like, that's not an injury-prone thing. That's just a tough thing to have happen. And it would be great if Pacers could stop landing on Bucks stars' legs. I would prefer if they didn't do that anymore, because that's 2 straight games where that's happened. But it
The
just
Bucks'
happens.
big three has a combined one good leg.
Yeah, and he comes back, and Khris comes back and plays like the whole rest of the game, and again was the real engine keeping them afloat on offense. Brook Lopez actually ends up leading the team with 27 points. His 3-ball was falling. He hit 3 of his 5 shots. Missed all 4 of his free throws. What's going on there? But was 12 of 18 from the field. Had some post touches that worked. Had some rolls. I mean, he had some ugly turnovers too. But again, like, you can't get too picky. You just need points. Malik Beasley had 20, shot 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep. Somehow the Bucks still lost his minutes by a team worst 19 points, which just feels perfect for Bees. Whatever happened to like us thinking he was doing okay on defense, he gets immediately lost now. I don't know what has changed. He's like not even close to plays if he's guarding someone.
No, it's not even in the vicinity of where he needs to be. It's crazy, and it's so unfortunate that it comes when he finally gets his shot to start falling. Because one thing that's really plagued him throughout the stretch run of the regular season and now in this postseason is he lost the starting job because, it wasn't the best fit, and he just wasn't hitting his shots. He was one of the league's premier sharpshooters in the first half of the season, and then he's just regressed ever since. And even in these first 3 playoff games coming into last night's game, he just could not find a shot to save his life. Doc would give him a shot, a few minutes here. If you can hit your shots, you'll stay in the game. He would not, and would subsequently be removed from the game. So it's really unfortunate that in this game where, like you said, he's the team's 3rd leading scorer, he's 8 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep, you'd be like, wow, what an amazing Malik Beasley performance. And in some respects, yeah, it was. It truly was. He was finding his shot. He was providing his team some much-needed offense. I mean, given some of it was in garbage time, but even during the game, during that first half, he was really providing a lift to the team. And then he would just let the team back down again on the other end. It was so unfortunate to see, because you just need complete performances from these players. Like, you're down so many guys that you just need the guys who are playing to just not leak points, and that's what they were doing.
Yeah. And even Lopez, who obviously has been a great defender, I mean, just cannot guard Miles Turner. The Bucks just can't guard Miles Turner in space with their current personnel. I mean, Turner has just been obliterating Milwaukee. He ends with 29 points, game high for the Pacers. Halliburton has 24 on 50, 40, 100 shooting, so he got his shooting together. No other Pacer scored more than 15, though. Like, the Bucks went from Siakam killing them to kind of shifting the defense around a little bit. And honestly, I feel like they haven't defended Indiana horrible. I think if their offense could function, I mean, obviously they could have won. They were right there in game 3. And even this game, I mean, Indiana ends with 126. But, I mean, Khris had some bad turnovers. Brook had some bad turnovers. And they overall, I mean, they could not buy a 3 outside of Beasley and Lopez. And then Andre Jackson Jr. AJ Green was 2 of 6. He's missed so many good looks this playoff. So I feel for him. It's tough. Still has been one of the better Bucks to play, though, just because, I mean, he exists on the defensive end, and he's made some great passes in this series. I will. The one he had, was that to Brook or was that to Bobby when Bobby was still in?
For AJ? It was to Brook.
Yeah, it was to Brook. He dunked it, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Always take more than Brook dunks on Prize Picks, I'll tell you that.
There we go, baby. We'll get to that. So, yeah, I mean, Bobby Portis was just a huge letdown game. Khris doing everything he can. I felt like I kept going like maybe they should pull him, but he's not letting them, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we'll see if he's on the injury report. I'm sure he'll be on it, but we'll see what his status is for Game 5. I mean, they could have none of the big 3 if his ankle swells up. He obviously played the whole second half, so I assume he'd probably be able to play, but it's a tough time. I mean, look at the rest of the roster. Do you want to do good first or bad first? For the rotation, I should say.
Let's do good.
Okay.
Andre Jackson Jr.
Yeah, that's about it. 25 minutes, which was 4th on the team this time. So he went from he's still number 1 from the bench. Also now, I mean, again, the Bobby thing. And Pat Bev only played 20 and a half because he seemed to also get hurt.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Like,
he was limping after he got knocked on a drive where he didn't get the call.
And he came back in, but he played a lot less from then.
Yeah, he did. He seemed like he was limping a bit. Bless you.
Thank you. My pod mic was muted, but you heard it. But that's okay.
Whoops.
Yeah, that's fine. The video people would have known anyway.
He seemed like he was limping, and he came out of the game, but then he came back, and it was just it just felt off, like he didn't see the correct.
I mean, yeah, he's playing on one arm and one leg at this point, so that makes sense.
Yeah, forget he has a torn wrist ligament.
Yeah. The Bucks are doing great. They're literally a mash unit.
Yeah.
Khris has 2 bum ankles. Pat Bev is like a pirate, one arm and one leg. Brook Lopez is 36 years old.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Giannis and Dame are both out. Chris Livingston is sick.
Yeah. What a cursed series. But yeah, Andre Jackson Jr. has been the bright spot from these last couple games, these last 2 games here. He just comes in, he makes an impact immediately. You can tell the Bucks have a real point of attack defender in that regard. He still gets caught on some screens sometimes that are moving that don't get called because it's the postseason, but that's just the way it is. Like, you can't expect everything.
So the one on the Halliburton where they were criticizing the drop coverage, I was like, I mean, come on.
I mean, look at what Miles
Turner is hitting a dance move right there. You got to call it. I think that one was enough to call in the postseason. But yeah, that was his biggest struggle. But overall, I think he had a very good game on both ends again. Yeah. Except the fact that he will not look at the rim ever when he's got the ball.
No, never. It's like, bro, that's the weirdest thing, because he has probably one of the best dunks in the NBA this season with his flying putback dunk against the Kings.
But they're all putbacks,
and that's the thing.
He won't bring the ball there. He'll only go find the ball if it's there.
But like, is it like a mental thing?
It has to be. It's 100% a mental. Of course, he could do it. We've seen him leap.
He can clearly do it.
Yes. He catches the ball under the hoop and he'll pass it out. It's like, just jump straight up, dude. You can get there. It makes no sense. That might be the only thing he has to work on. He's 2 for 4 from deep in this game, firing with confidence. That's great. If you have the ball and you're anywhere within like 5 feet, just go jump over someone and try to put it in. Good things will happen, Andre. I promise. That's the number one thing. Which we'll see how the free throws go for him. He hasn't shot one in a while, but he also had 6 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block. 6 points, team high, and the only player in positives for the Bucks outside of garbage time.
Complete performance from Andre Jackson Jr. He was the second, third best Buck?
At least, yeah.
I'd say, at least the third best.
That's what him and Brook and Khris.
Yeah.
There's not really many other players you could put in the combo. Gallo? 3 for 5.
I mean, Gallo, we'll talk about Gallo. I didn't hate Gallo, but
he can't move. But outside of that,
he can't move. But that's not the reason they were a minus 11 in his minutes.
No, I think it wasn't all him at all.
No, but Ajax, man, for a second round pick rookie, just coming in after not playing a lot in the regular season under this head coach, not playing much in the postseason, just coming in and being able to make an instant impact. It's incredible. It truly is. Like, he has a fast track for a starting role next season.
Yeah, I mean, he and AJ Green both, who again, like, is in all the right spots defensively, is still not like he doesn't make the same defensive impact as Ajax, but
and you know what he's in the right best spots. Thing about Andre Jackson Jr.?
What?
He can run. He's like the only Buck.
It was funny because he actually, I thought, had a pretty poor start to the game. Like, he let somebody, I think it was Toppin, beat him back on a Bucks make. And it's like, dude, if you're out there, that's like your number one role is to just not get beat down the floor. But I thought he bounced back really well, which is nice to see from a young player in his first playoffs.
Yeah,
he obviously has taken on such a big role.
And to be fair, for that possession, it is inexcusable. You can't let a guy just leak out and beat you down the floor. I think they were setting up in a zone and he set up in the wrong spot. But Andre Jackson Jr. just being able to run, because one thing that this Pacers team is really exploiting in this series is that they're athletic.
Yeah, I mean, you know how hard it is to win games in a series if you just never have transition points? Think about how I'll look up the stat. I mean, it's going to be like 5, and I'm not going to be able to remember where they were. But the Bucks just, like, if they get a turnover, they don't go anywhere. Which one is transition? Fast break is different. Milwaukee had 5 fast break points.
But
I guess that's the same. Yeah, they had 5. Indiana only had 7 though, which is shocking.
Because the Bucks were actually starting to get back because they were playing guys who are able to run. AJ Green, Andre Jackson Jr., Pat Connaughton to an extent. Like they can run. I'll push back on Pat a little. I won't.
Yeah, you're the one who said it.
I know. I'm mad at myself.
Do you know before? I think he'll be okay with me sharing this. Before the playoffs started, I DM'd Laz Chance, Laz Jackson, great Pistons follow. And I was like, so you just want more capable wing players, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what if you just like took on Pat Connaughton or like gave up 2nd round pick or something? Championship experience, not a long contract, really good locker room guy. He was into it.
Okay. Hey, maybe John Morris wants to take him with him.
Maybe he does. I think we might be getting to that point with Pat Connaughton. I fear. Has not been good in the regular season for a couple of years. Has not been good this playoffs. Like, he does some of the right things, but overall, he's not making a positive impact.
No. I mean, the saving grace for Pat Connaughton last year is during the postseason, he turned up his play. And the collective thought was just, he's a 16 game player, you know, that championship experience, that unrelated 24 right behind you. It's just he turns it up in the postseason type player. Nope, not this year. Not even close.
At the beginning, I mean, maybe he just needs them to be healthy too. Maybe you're just asking too much. I mean, you're asking too much of everyone, but he can't do more.
I'm asking him to hit wide open shots.
Well, again, he was 2 for 5 in game 1, 2 for 3 in game 2. Although he's made 1 total 3 this series.
That's what I'm asking him to do.
Bad. He's had multiple assists in most games. Yeah, I mean, it's just like he just doesn't do enough stuff anymore.
No, he does not do enough stuff at all. I'm just asking the Bucks in general, like, to make some shots. Like, the Bucks in the entire game hit as many threes as the Pacers did in the first half. Just, wow. You need to be able to make shots. Yeah, 12 threes. I was guessing, but yeah, 12 threes in the first half for the Pacers, 12 threes for the Bucks overall.
Yeah, I mean, they don't take nearly enough threes. That's the one thing. That's made this series...
Again, that's what I'm asking Pat to do.
Yeah, he's got to do that.
You got to be able to take some shots. You've got to be... Like, that's one of the really unfortunate parts about Malik Beasley and his defensive woes that we were talking about earlier, because at least when he's out there, he'll put up shots.
Oh, they're often horrible, but he will take them.
And you know what? I'm not even mad at him for doing
that. Yeah, I was when Dame was healthy, but at this point, it's like, just pray. Just go ahead. Try Miami a game here.
Even Brook Lopez, the 7'1" behemoth who should just live in the paint. And I get so annoyed when he takes threes. I was like, you know what? Good for you, Brook. Just bomb away from distance. Dude. If you have a shot, take it.
I mean, how about 27 and 9 for Brook Lopez? I mean, obviously not having the same defensive impact, but he's not supposed to play 39 minutes in this matchup. He's just not. I mean, this should be a matchup where his role gets shrunk and he just plays, I don't know, between 20 and 30 maybe. Yeah, and Giannis plays a bunch at the 5.
You know, when you're the only big, you have to do that.
Yeah, you have to. And he's like, you know what? I'll just be the engine. It's cool. And credit to him, man. It makes you feel good about at least Brook going forward. Again, I think we've acknowledged, like, he's not a core player, maybe. I mean, core to maybe their locker room, but in terms of the court, like, I think he is now matchup dependent. But it was nice to see at least I think he had a good game 3 as well.
He did.
Scoring the ball. So he has been one guy who, when they've needed him, he had 14. And in game 2, he had 22. Last game, he had 14, but again, shot 58% from the field. It's not been a good matchup for him, but he's fought super hard.
Expiring contract this year.
No, he's not.
Didn't he sign a 2-year deal?
Before this year.
Yeah, so he's expiring next year.
You mean this next year?
Yeah.
I don't know. Is the 3rd year non-guaranteed?
I believe so. I thought it was just a 2-year deal. Am I wrong?
I thought it was 3, but you're right. I think I'm getting it confused with Vucevic signed a 3-year deal that raised the price on Brook, and I was thinking of that. You are correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, an expiring contract next season, $23 million, which is only 16% of the cap.
But
yeah, it was smart the way they did it. It's descending, and as the cap goes up, it was $25 million this year.
But Brook Lopez,
we'll get in the cap combo soon enough, folks. Don't think we're that far off.
Brook Lopez, yeah, it was a shining spot on offense. But yeah, it's just you need to be able to get up shots. Like Chris Middleton put up 4 threes. I know that's not his game. He's more of a mid-range maestro. But
he just didn't have his legs. I mean, it was his game in game 3 when he made 2 insane spinning game-sustaining shots. And the Bucks could not grab a single rebound.
No. Hey, at least they cleaned that up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of people mad at Doc. I truly feel like
what do you want Doc to do?
I mean, I was mad at not having a different Turner defense, and then they did switch it, like they kept Brook next to him, so Turner wouldn't just shoot, and then it was like 3 straight Andrew Nembhard dunks because no one on the perimeter can stick with Andrew Nembhard. And I was like, okay.
When the Pacers, when the Bucks did that, and the Pacers just started running Spain.
Oh, we'll just dunk then. Yeah. We'll just dunk, okay? Because Malik Beasley's horrible.
Yeah, having Chris Middleton at the end of a stack is ridiculous.
He just can't move, dude. Like
you're asking too much for. Like poor Chris. What do you want him to do, man?
I know
he's doing everything he possibly can. He can't move. He's got 0 good legs. Like, poor guy, what do you want him to do?
And they tried the zone, but it feels like I don't know. The way they structure their zone where Brook has to cover a corner, I almost wonder if you should try like a 2-1-2 or something.
I think the zone would work a lot better if you had guys who could move laterally, because that's what you need to
usually helps. Usually it helps. Actually, it turns out most defenses, that's a beneficial trait.
Like who on the court can move laterally for the Bucks?
They have at most 3 guys at any one time.
I'm being serious. Who is it? Andre Jackson Jr., AJ Green, and who else?
Pat Connaughton will get there, but he won't do anything when he's there. Okay.
No, I refuse to include Pat Connaughton there. I'm legitimately asking who besides those 2 can move laterally.
MarJon and Thanasis played.
I'll tell you what, man. Thanasis looked good.
He had a block and did nothing else.
Plus 4.
Minutes. Yeah. So was Large Marge, who maybe he will get a shot. Maybe they won't have enough players that they can keep him out anymore. It just feels like 3 different coaches now have just settled on, I'm not going to play MarJon very much. I don't know why, but sometimes that can be instructive. We'll see. I wouldn't expect him to play much in Game 5. I feel like he fell out of favor the most out of the young guys, though.
Yeah, he did. But he still played.
It was. But I think when they were hurt, when they got healthy, when they got healthy, it was like Ajax and AJ Green got their way back in, and MarJon really didn't.
I think it's just, I think those 2 have just outplayed MarJon.
Yeah. But again, I would take the Jay Crowder 12 minutes. I think the other criticism of Doc I saw was just like he's playing too many guys. To me, it feels like
he's just trying.
That's literally what you have to do in this. It's just like, can Jay Crowder hit a 3? Like, he's a guy who gets hot. Can I put Jay Crowder in? Does he knock down his 3s? Oh, no, he doesn't. Okay, less than Gallo. Gallo, hey, you know what? Cannot move. Hit 3 of the ugliest shots you could ever saw. Sustain the Bucks.
I'll tell you what. I was not mad at the Gallo minutes. I really wasn't.
After Game 3, I was like, I would try Gallo over Bobby. Like, why not? And then they had to. And, it wasn't that much worse.
I wasn't mad. When I saw that Mohawk checking in, I was like, oh, God. I even put in our group chat, I said, oh, God, it's Gallo. And then he just starts getting the ball. He starts hitting his little turnarounds. He can't dribble a basketball to save his life.
No, I thought he could dribble a little bit. He cannot dribble, but no turnovers.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though. He'll get results. He had a little, post spin, let Siakam sort of catch him up on the drive, pump fake, little step back J, and I was like, okay, Gallo.
I thought he was going to go up and under and get a foul on that. In 13 minutes,
no, he's not nearly athletic enough to do that.
No, I realized. He's 3 of 5 from the field, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So 6 points. So he played 13 minutes. Jay Crowder played 12 minutes and 40 seconds. He was 1 of 4 from the field, missed both of his 3s, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Did have a block, but also 2 fouls. And Gallo had no fouls. Gallo's not. You can't get fouls if you're just not there. So he's not sending the Pacers to the line. He's just not by the play. And listen, man, when Gallo is probably like your 8th best player who was able to play real minutes in this game after Bobby got ejected, that's a tough spot to be in. But salute to Gallo.
He was your 3rd or 4th biggest offensive threat?
Yeah, I will say the fact that he could just come in and create his own shot, I was like, it's actually I actually don't think he's necessarily playing for the defensive part of his bigness, because he doesn't. I literally think it's like,
Shot
all right,
creation.
we need someone we can just throw the ball to, and credit. I mean, he went and made it happen.
No, that's literally why he played, his shot creation.
Yeah.
No, it's not defense. Yeah, he's not a big on defense. He's a 2-guard on defense if I've ever seen one. But it's just the ability.
He's a no guard on defense.
It's the ability. Oh, so you can say it, but we can't.
What does that mean?
Like, you're always, whenever we criticize Gallo, you're like, hey, he's a really nice guy.
We're talking mostly good about him. He is a great guy.
Yeah. No,
he looked like a great guy out there.
He did look like a great guy out there. But yeah, I think it's just the ability to just say, hey, can we not have an offensive possession just involve Khris Middleton catching the ball off 2 screens? Can we just do something else? And that's
some of the non-Khris Middleton possessions, you're just like, oh God.
It's horrible. It's horrifying to watch. This team just made me so sad to watch.
I mean, dude, serious credit to Andre Jackson Jr., who is like basically the de facto point guard for. I don't know how he got 7 assists, but that's incredible.
Just being the Bucks having 7 made baskets in his 25 minutes was incredible. Just like.
Hey, 9 at least, because he made 2 as well.
That's true. They had at least 9 made baskets during his 25 minutes, because they would just go stretches where you just can't make a field goal. And that's what Gallo brings you. It's so depressing that we're at this point.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
What are we doing here, man?
Hey, it is nice to see the young guys. We're talking
about how Danilo Gallinari getting the ball is a saving grace for this Milwaukee Bucks team.
That's what happens when your 2 superstars are out and Chris Livingston.
Thought you were going to say your 2 superstars and Dame.
No, I'm back on board. I saw somebody post like the only Bucks who need to be back are Khris and Giannis. I was like, I'm putting Dame in there. Dame was a warrior. Dame was a huge playoff riser. Dame is good with me, man.
Dame was hitting big shot after big shot trying to get this team back in it in Game 3 on a strained Achilles.
Yeah, Dame is the decoy, made more shots than a lot of players who were still feeling all right physically. So no, I'm off that. And people may think, oh, you had the tweet. I'm not driven by my agendas. Dame played awesome.
I was mostly talking about your praise for Chris Livingston.
No, I know. You can't tell me Chris CL wouldn't help right now.
No, he wouldn't. Absolutely.
He's better than Boss Man. Boss Man should not play a single. Well, again, like if you want to give him a couple minutes, see if he can do something, fine. Horrible. He just doesn't do anything.
It's nothing. Nothing good is happening.
He's probably the worst player they've played this postseason. Just like he was last postseason, except he's gotten more minutes because they've needed to. He just doesn't do anything. Like, for a player who's been in so many big roles on so many great teams, I just cannot believe how just straight up ineffectual he is on both ends.
Post-surgery, it was never the same.
No. He had a little bit of a hot run. I mean, even if he could just knock down some shots, but he's not been able to do anything. It's been brutal.
Yeah. For a team that's screaming, desperately crying out for offense. And here's the thing, though.
He scored 5 points in game 1 and has scored 4 total points since.
The thing is, that's wow.
Yeah. They can't afford that.
But the thing is, Jay Crowder on a team with Dame and Giannis fits well.
I don't know, though. They're not asking him to do that much more. He shot 4 times. It's not like they gave Jay Crowder the ball 25 times.
That's fair.
I mean, he'd have more space. He'd have more space, but
you know, it's like his values on the defensive end.
Yeah, but he's not doing that.
Yeah.
He's been a bad defender.
Yeah.
He's just like, every time they put him out there, I'm like, all right, here we go. Some tough physical. And it's like, oh, they just walked by him again. He can't contain it all. I will say this. I'm ready for a much younger Bucks team. I mean, that to me is just
That's been my takeaway from the postseason in general.
100%. Yeah, like and looking at other teams too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not just this series, but watching the rest of the series. Like when you watch, I know the Bucks aren't. This is so depressing. The Bucks aren't a team that's Minnesota, which is imagine telling me that.
At least they're not Phoenix either.
Oh God, no, they're more.
Could be worse. Yeah, could be worse.
Oh man, imagine me saying that 5 years ago. The Bucks aren't at the level of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Credit to them.
Imagine if Pat Connaughton made $50 million a year and had a no trade clause. That's basically the Suns. Think of how much the real estate scene in Milwaukee would change.
Imagine in 2 years if Pat Connaughton was making $57 million.
Someday the salary cap might get there, and I feel like the fans will burn down arenas. Like, imagine you're going into the Bucks game and somebody's like, did you hear they just signed Jay Crowder to a 1-year, $75 million deal? That's vet minimum. But, like, this isn't right.
Like, you can give me something. You know?
Yeah, we should get paid to go to the game.
Like, you should, like, that. Tickets should be free at that point.
Yeah,
like,
come on.
You don't have to pay Boss Man $75 million. Like, you can make tickets free. It's okay.
The Lakers just have 13 vet mins because of their poor cash flow.
Oh, yeah. They can't even afford to do that.
We haven't talked about losing time yet. Or what is the Clippers one called?
Clipped. Is it called Clipped?
I think it's called Clipped. But yeah, we're going to get a bunch of clips of Doc. And I thought they did such a good job.
Man. I'll tell you what.
They did such a good job on winning time, finding people that look like the people. They did not for Clipped.
I'll tell you what, man. When I'm watching the Bucks just get annihilated by Andrew Nembhard, and then I have to watch a commercial where Lawrence Fishburne gets introduced as Doc Rivers, I can't, man. I can't.
I feel like
they have the painted on hair too. It's just like
I feel like physically they're pretty disrespectful to Doc. That's all I'm gonna say. But like, damn, man.
Like, it's just
you could say a lot of things about Doc, but he's not lost the rope that much on his conditioning since his playing days.
No.
Doc might have to suit up in game 5.
Bro, I'll tell you what, man, he's ready. That 90-degree angle, like, you can tell that's some athleticism right there.
He did more than 90 in this game. He was tipped more. He was like 110 degrees.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you.
Or no, it'd be the opposite. He was like 65 degrees. Yeah, like by the time of the end of game 5, he's going to be like flat. Like,
no, his head's going to be in his feet.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be like touching his toes with his forehead.
I'll tell you what, Doc, if you can do that, you can suit up, man. Like, also,
if only the Bucks had a roster spot.
RIP to Chris Finch, by the way. Mike Conley killed him.
Dude, imagine if we had a torn patella. Is that your kneecap?
Yeah.
Oh, like, it's honestly, like, I was thinking this when I heard that. Thank God that they swept, because I feel like he's going to need a couple days.
Oh, yeah. Like, who knows if he's going to be back on the sideline?
Yeah. Like, that's actually a big deal, I think.
I know. I mean
you'd hope in this day and age, like, he'd be able to maybe be, like, in the second row and giving someone else the direction on what to do. I mean, we'll see how they do it, but
I'm sure they'll do something like that. Like, he has to have surgery immediately.
Oh, God. That is just horrible.
And Mike Conley, of all people, like, just the worst.
Has he still never gotten a tech?
Correct.
Good for Mike Conley.
Yeah. If he was the opposing coach, he might have gotten a tech for that. But
yeah. I saw Kyrie said he's never fouled out of a game, which is a Wilt Chamberlain thing. But I'm not going to criticize him after the game he had yesterday. I don't know if you caught that
Kyrie
one.
When I want to.
Did you see that game?
I did. They lost.
That's true. But they were down 32 and they almost won.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game. Anyway, still fair to criticize Kyrie, who has kept
It's fun talking about non-Bucks teams.
I know. He has. I thought that was going to go a lot worse for the Mavs. He has kept a shockingly low profile, but I feel like in Texas, he could probably just be weird in real life and fit in enough. And then
he's fine.
He doesn't have to post about it. Yeah,
he's fine. He can just go live it up.
Also, you could just have like a compound. I feel like I wouldn't post if I had in Texas, you can get a compound. The way you can get land in Cleveland or in like he probably has a whole.
Have you seen the car Luka drives? Not his Camaro, but his like the tank.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Like that's the most rich Texas thing I've ever seen.
He's never leaving.
No,
I learned that when I saw that, and he's got acres on acres. I heard.
Yeah, it's like you can't you can't drive that in Milwaukee.
No. Do you think Jokic? So Jokic doesn't have any horses in Denver. Can you have horses in Denver?
I don't know.
Is it too high? Maybe that's
you can have them in Texas, though. I'll tell you
he's going to demand a trade so he can go somewhere with more land and horses.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll set you up in like a farm in Mequon, my guy.
He can be next to the J.J. Watt compound.
He could.
Undisclosed area of Wisconsin. We're going to get so many people. My cousin's brother goes to church with JJ's family. I know where it is. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, congrats on living in Pewaukee. Like,
stop. Don't tell anyone where the compound is. We want people to be able to hide in Wisconsin. Not hide from illegality, but I support what JJ Watt wants to do.
If me saying Pewaukee is outing him,
it's over.
It's not.
TMZ's gonna be at his place tomorrow.
TMZ probably already knows where
we heard it from. I don't know. TMZ would be like, "Wait, why are we here?"
What the heck is Quick Trip?
The real Quick Trip. We have to talk about this game. We do,
unfortunately.
But before we do, let's talk about our friends at Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. You pick more or less on 2 or more player stats for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Prize Picks is the most fun I've had, more so Rohan's had, because he's the big DFS winner of the podcast, but win up to 100 times your money this basketball season. And for the playoffs, it's even more fun because there's stars. The stars mean more on Prize Picks. Starred players can receive a $10 payout boost if they're in your winning lineup. And applicable to the Bucks, Prize Picks offers injury insurance, so your lineup stay in place even if one of your players gets injured. If they exit the game in the first half and do not return in the second, Prize Picks will have your back. That will not count as a loss. This week on Prize Picks, looking at the playoff basketball board, hey man, how about Miles Turner? This was the kiss of death for Siakam and Dame, unfortunately. So I'm going more than on Miles Turner, more than on Tyrese Halliburton, more than on Andrew Nembhard, more than on Doug McDermott, all of them on Prize Picks this week. Going less than on every Buck who suits up. Going to see if this can work against me and for the Bucks. We'll see. But if you want to mirror that play or do your own, download the Prize Picks app today and use code EuroStep for a first deposit match up to $100. That is promo code EuroStep on the Prize Picks app to get your first deposit up to $100 matched. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
I'll tell you what, though, that the injury protection also works on ejections.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So covered me for Bobby Portis, more than half a block shot.
That was a bold one anyway.
Yeah. You know what? I thought we were getting an intense Bobby game, and you know what? I was right.
Could you imagine?
What a moron. Like, how do you do that? You could see.
I don't want him on the team next year.
You could see, as soon as he went to the bench, Khris started yelling at him. You could see immediately.
Khris has been sick of him for 3 years.
Khris is fed up.
When he did the high step into the finals, Khris is like, what did he say? Like, calm the fuck down?
Yeah.
Settle the fuck down, whatever it was. And I'm not going to censor Khris Middleton. And then Andre Jackson Jr. came over and pumped him up more. I was like, Ajax, if he's not ejected, you're going to make sure he gets ejected. Please go punch somebody else in the chest. But not Giannis or Dame, because you might further injure them.
You might break it. Or
Khris.
Yeah.
Or Doc, after what happened to Chris Finch.
Jalen Galloway, you're up, man. Ryan Rollins.
I don't know if you should even punch Ryan Rollins. He's a bit bigger. Jalen Galloway, I think, could take it.
Yeah, not tie.
No, not the guards. No, punch. Gallo would be fine.
He might break Gallo. They might need Gallo.
No. If you keep it to I think his upper body is good. Don't punch him in the legs.
Oh no! Don't touch Gallo's legs.
That would be a weird celebration anyway.
Punch in his leg.
That'd be like if Muggsy Bogues and Yao Ming played together. Let's go! He's just like punching his knee. You got this.
It's like that classic Muggsy Bull. Or no, Manu Bull.
Yeah, Manu Bull. It's just like, you can't do the punch thing if
Did you see, by the way, that they recreated that photo with Isaiah Thomas and Bull?
I'm glad those two have something to do there.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but that's very poor Isaiah Thomas.
Hey, he's back. Good for him.
How many minutes did he play? Is he there to take pictures or is he there to play?
He's not there to play.
Okay.
Yeah. But hey, he made it back to the NBA. Good for him.
I'm kind of surprised he didn't play Bull either. I kind of thought he was helping them in that. Whatever. Okay, we can't just talk about the Suns. I'm not saying he's more skilled than Jokic or whatever. I'm not saying that.
Better than Wemby?
Oh, that was it. Jeez, dear God. No. Yeah, I don't want Bobby Portis back next season. I've had enough.
Yeah. I mean,
he's had one good playoff series in 3-4 years now. 4.
Yeah, 1.
And it was the finals, so it's a really good one. But the Bucks just need, and also I just think fit wise, it's just not ideal. Especially, Bobby made more sense as a Buck when they had Drew.
Oh, absolutely. When you had mostly defensive-minded players and you just needed some instant offense, Bobby made a lot of sense.
They need my guy Isaiah Jackson now.
No, he's not getting run in this series. I'm off the Isaiah Jackson trade.
That's because Giannis isn't playing.
No.
It is. I mean, it's because
I know that's true.
It would play so into Milwaukee's hands. Carlisle has done a good job of coaching in this series. Yeah. Although he put it back in Doug McDermott. I was like, why do you keep doing this? He can't quit Dougie.
When the Bucks run zone, that's when Dougie McDermott.
Oh, that's when he did it. Yeah. He hit one shot, and was that James Johnson? It was acting like he just hit a game winner. Mm-hmm. Like, you could tell Doug McDermott's not had a good time this postseason.
No, the only time Dougie McBuckets has gotten run is when the Bucks are in a zone defense and the Pacers are really discombobulated.
Yeah, just stand in the corner and shoot.
Like, not even the corner. The Bucks zone sort of leaks at the wings. They need that.
It leaks all over the place, unfortunately.
Hey, they're trying it, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, you have to try different things and just hope you can, like, kind of throw Indiana off for a little bit. I mean, that's Doc's strategy right now, and I don't think there's a better one. Like, all right, we'll throw this look, we'll throw that look, we'll throw these guys, we'll do zone, we'll do drop, we'll do, we'll switch everything, and they figure that Indiana solves them all because the personnel just isn't good enough. Like, this is the same convo we had, when Adrian Griffin was the coach. I mean, obviously, he was worse than we thought, but Doc got more out of the personnel, and they added Pat Bev, who, again, is now hopping around on one leg with one arm. But especially at this point, I mean, Giannis is just such a solve for so many things on both ends, and not having him, they're just pushed beyond their limits on both ends.
Yeah. Speaking of Giannis, the latest report from, I believe, The Athletic, is that he is now able to run with no resistance.
He ran outside of 0G. It was on the broadcast, too, for the first time.
That's good.
On a court. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if that equates to playing in an NBA game on Tuesday.
I mean, what's the biggest issue is just his ability to run. So if he's able to run, that's good.
Well, I would assume you progress from running to, like, cutting, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's going to be a big one, too. If I had to guess, I wonder if Dame tries to gut it out Game 5 and see if they can go to a Game 6 where Giannis could return. We'll see. Obviously not sourced.
That would be my guess as well, but I would also think that there's a chance Giannis plays on Tuesday.
I think there's a chance.
I'd say the best
we'll
chance
see.
so
Again,
far.
We'll see what Khris is status. Do you think Khris plays?
I think Khris plays. Khris is a warrior.
I mean, yeah, so people are going to talk about the Suns game when he missed a month when he tried to play through it. The difference is he tried to play for like 2 minutes in that game. He played a whole half of basketball, including, like, it happened first half, right? He goes through halftime, comes back out. I feel like if it was going to swell to a point where he couldn't play, it probably would have happened before that game was over. He may not be able to move laterally, but I would imagine he plays.
I would imagine he plays as well. That dude he's gutting it out. I mean,
he's always going to fight.
Utmost respect. Can't wait for the statue.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not as small as the Sixers make
it. Hopefully there's could they do I don't know how you do it, maybe with the invisible looking rope, but can we get some sweat droplets?
Oh my God, we'd have to.
In midair.
That'd be so cool. I wonder what the statues will look like outside Fiserv.
That's where we're at. We're picturing statues to cope.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But looking forward, I think Giannis gives it a shot. I don't know if he plays. I'd say it's more likely than not that he does play. Just guessing. Pure guessing, by the way. I mean, this is a dude who's played what? I think there's a stat floating around. He's played 1.9% of the minutes in the last 2 postseasons combined.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It truly is. It's he's a at worst, top 2 player in the NBA at worst. When he's at his peak, there's no argument that he's not the best player in the NBA. He is a guy who will single-handedly win you playoff series if he wants to, if he's able to. This is a guy who will single-handedly change everything around this team. We talk about the defense, the offense, the transition. everything, the passing, the cutting. Like Giannis fixes all of that for the Milwaukee Bucks. Like he is the reason this team is who they are. If he has a chance in front of his home crowd, in front of his city, to go out there and make this a series, I think he tries.
I think he tries. I don't expect him to be able to go for Game 5. But again, we're both just guessing here. I mean, I think if he and Dame can play in Game 5, I think they have a chance to still win this series.
If him and Dame are still playing, like they have a chance. They had a chance to win this game. This was a 3-point game at halftime. This was a 13-point game overall. This was not a blowout, like you mentioned up top. They had a chance to beat. This should probably have been a 2-2 series. They had a really strong chance to win Game 3.
If they could just rebound, they would have won Game 3.
If you have your two best players playing, I have zero doubt that the Bucks could come back from 3-1. And who knows what Doc looks like on the other side of 3-1. Maybe just
people are saying this is how he's gonna. This is like the switch flip for Doc.
Yeah, he is usually what happens when he's up 3-1. It's just the switch turns off when he's up.
This is the only way. This was the only, like the Doctor Strange, where like things had to be bad for it to ultimately work out. Was this the only way to get Ajax as the number one bench player with the stars healthy?
Unfortunately, yeah.
But now that we're here,
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I mean, if Pat Bev is also going to be limited, imagine starting 5 on Tuesday night.
8:30 p.m., by the way.
Yeah, super late. Damian Lillard, Andre Jackson Jr., Khris Middleton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Brook Lopez. I would run through a fucking wall. If you see that, curtains for Indiana.
Curtains. It should have been curtains anyway. This team, by the way, is like the likely outcome is the Pacers win this series, right? The Bucks have to win 3 games in a row. Yeah. The Pacers are getting swept in the next round.
I really, if the Bucks can't get back, I will find a lot of joy in Knicks Pacers because the Pacers are absolutely not ready for what the Knicks are going to do.
A real basketball team.
I've been watching that series. Not just a good team. A healthier team, healthier. They have without Randall too, which, as I said back when,
it's not hurting them.
Well, it might not be the worst thing. The way they play, I mean, they are going to shock this team.
Oh, absolutely. This is like the Pacers have at times struggled against this zombie Bucks team that needs Gallinari to be thrown the ball to have some semblance of offense.
And that just like has not been good enough, physical enough on the glass, which is the opposite of the
Oh my God, dude. I saw the greatest video, the greatest tweet of all time. It was like Josh Hart when he has the chance to get an offensive rebound and it's a guy parkouring off like off a pier.
It's insane. Like, yeah. I'm now thinking like, okay, this wasn't just a Cavs problem. They just do this.
No, absolutely they do.
They're a crazy team. But yeah, I don't. If the Bucks do get through, it's going to be obviously a huge challenge. I mean, they've had their own half-court struggles without Randall. That's been, where they've missed him the most. But it would be a big time for Ajax to be able to guard Jalen Brunson a little bit. Obviously, Pat Bev would get some shakes at that too. But yeah, I mean, I think silver lining of it all is the young guys have, kind of without any other options, have earned Doc's trust. Oops.
New coach, same problem.
Well. Doc might have gotten there faster. I mean, they still have Pat C. They still have Jay Crowder, and now Gallo had to play again.
Hey, Bud didn't play Jay Crowder last year.
That is true.
And they didn't have Ajax. And AJ Green was ineligible to play in the postseason. Which, by the way, feels like eons ago and not last year. Like, this season has been so demoralizing.
It's been like 3 years.
It's felt like 3 years.
Yeah,
like that. It was literally last year when Jimmy Butler was hanging 50 on Drew Holiday.
What was it, 7 months ago when they got Dame?
Yeah,
I mean that's crazy. And so like 9 months ago, we were like, oh, can they get Jalen Green?
Yeah, we thought about it.
Might have been fun, or Brad Beal. Which
I was gonna say Brad Beal. We were all in on Brad Beal.
I think the Bucks were too.
Yeah, they absolutely were. Were trying
to pick Phoenix. Thank you, Brad Beal.
Hey, I'll tell you what. I think it would have worked out better in Milwaukee. Next to Drew.
Drew would have had to go.
Oh, duh. Oh.
Yeah. No. It would have been real bad. I mean, your big trade acquisition you blow up the team for doesn't even play half the year. Oof.
Yeah, it would be what a Brad Beal. I don't even. What would the starting lineup look like? Who's your point guard?
You probably still go get Pat Bev.
Or no, you'd get Campaign.
Well, yeah, you would have had Cam. I think they might have come to the same conclusion of like, all right, we need some defense. We'll go get Pat Bev.
Pat Bev. I mean, Pat Bev, Brad Beal, Khris, Giannis, Brooke.
Yeah.
I like this team better.
Yeah, it's a lot worse. It's way worse. No question.
I like Dame.
Yeah, me too. Hopefully,
what do the Bucks do in Game 5 to make this a series? Well, one, do you think this is still like? Let's say Dame plays, Giannis doesn't. Do you think the Bucks have a chance?
Yeah,
absolutely, I do. I don't think the series is over in the slightest.
They're 1-2 with Dame playing, and the second one that they lost was extremely close, and Dame was severely limited. But that's the issue, is he might still be. I think it would be almost impossible for them to win the series at this point, just because even if Dame and Giannis are out there, I just find it hard to imagine that they're going to be Dame and Giannis, and they probably need to be. And the other problem is, like, are they ever going to progress to be more whole? It's just so hard if you have to grit it out for basically 3.5, 4 playoff series in a row.
Yeah, that was going to be my next point. Because what are you risking Giannis and Dame for, to get blown up by the Knicks?
So that's why, if those guys play, obviously if they're ready to play, sure, go for it. Like, if they feel good. But I would be very careful with the 3 primary stars, just because it's the first round, dude. Like, you don't want to bring back like a hobbled Giannis and then be like, all right, well, you're going to be playing 40 minutes a night for, hopefully weeks on weeks on weeks.
Yeah,
like,
have fun with OG Anunoby. Like,
yeah, that doesn't seem like a good recipe. So if you're able to get truly healthy, then fine. But my expectations for the rest of this run are very low.
Run in quotation marks.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of this postseason.
Cursed season.
I mean, it's every game. It feels like they lose somebody else for whatever reason.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to get hurt next? I mean, I thought Pat almost broke his finger in that game. In the last game.
Well, yeah. When he got rolled over in front of Siakam or under Siakam.
Yeah. I just don't know.
Protect Gallo.
Oh, God. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. Do we need TA? I'm not even joking.
I just don't think they can afford it on offense.
Like, just put him in the dunker spot. Just throw. Like, here's the thing: there's no single person on this team who's playing that can catch a lob.
Andre, well, I think Ajax could. I don't know. They should try that.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
No, I haven't either. Would it be like a putback, or would he catch it and then immediately throw it back out? Imagine he catches the lob right over the basket and then just hucks it to a shooter. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
Why do I feel like I've seen him do that? I know I probably
has done that,
but like, I'm telling you, just get some athleticism. I'll tell you what, he checked in, immediately got a block.
Yep.
Defense.
I can't believe he didn't get called for. I think the officials were ready to go home. I mean, he was all over a couple paces. Like, when he was trying to get to TJ McConnell at the end of the game, I was like, TA, there's 2 seconds left. Please stop enveloping this man's whole body. And then he gave him a head rub after, like, hey, sorry, dude.
Imagine getting a head rub. Like, that's got to feel so disrespectful. Like, TJ McConnell's a grown-ass man.
After the guy was draped all over you, just like, hey, buddy, here you go.
He just looks small because he is small.
Yeah, like, he's like 32 years old.
By the way, TJ McConnell can fuck off, by the way. Like, why are you doing this?
That's all he knows.
Like, why? Like, he's not doing it, like, to be clear, he's not doing anything bad or wrong, but, like, how are you doing this? Like, it's just the Bucks' inability to beat press defense because of their lack of any sort of explosiveness is killing.
That's another way Ajax kind of changed the game.
Oh yeah, he can actually bring the ball up the court.
Yeah, he can get up court but I think what Indiana will learn is like just
let him drive.
Yeah, just because he won't shoot. But
yeah, just let him drive and then just like sort of tag him as he's driving through the paint, and then he'll be like, oh shit, I gotta pass it.
I think you could just let him go, and he'd floater. He'd throw up a floater. That's what he does.
Just don't. He's one of the most athletic guys in the NBA.
Yeah,
Just dunk the ball, my guy.
That's
like you can clearly jump over people.
He's got to go to Greece with Giannis, and just like that's all they work on.
No, like they should literally in Greece have a competition of dunk on me, dunk on me, dunk on me. Like
no, let's start just open. Let's start from square one.
No,
Here's the hoop, dunk on it.
No,
with the ball in your hands.
No, that's the thing. He gets scared of the contact, so he has to be like.
Sometimes there's no one around him.
That is true.
let's like start at square one.
What did Dan Hurley do to this man?
I don't know. That guy is crazy. I mean, he's going out there and pushing his players in the middle game, so probably a lot. That guy's nuts, but he's a winner.
He was like, "You better pass this open for a wide open fucking three. I swear to God, I'll kill you. I'll kill your family if you don't."
Seriously.
And then Ajax is like, "Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I have to do this." I'm sure Dan Hurley did not do that, by the way. You think Dan Hurley whispered to Ajax, "I'll kill your family if you don't get it."
I didn't. You're the one who said that. Not me. I just said, does not hold up in court.
Fair enough. I don't think we say holds up in court. This isn't real.
Sure.
Yeah. What else is there? I mean, this is just depressing.
Yeah, it just sucks. I just keep coming back to like, what can you do? I mean,
what can you do? Like your top guys are injured. Like, what do you expect to do when Giannis and Dame aren't playing?
They need a great Bobby Portis game in Game 5. If they're gonna, if one or certainly neither of Giannis and Dame goes, I mean, he has to score probably 30 and be useful defensively.
And here's the thing, though: the Pacers are going to try to get under his skin because they know he'll just lose his composure immediately.
Yep.
Still pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like the ultimate. And people are like, oh, it was a soft. It probably was soft, but
I mean, to be fair, the first two techs they called were soft. They gave Pat Bev a tech for too small, which is like, okay.
And then Turner doesn't get one for screaming in Brook Lopez's face. I was like, oh, so Bobby's gone, so we're just not worried about this anymore?
I don't know. But like the thing is, you've seen the too small so many times.
Yeah, the too small. And the Siakam tech sucked too.
I mean, yeah. To be fair, Giannis got a tech for staring down Isaiah Jackson.
But they're all weak.
They're all weak. They're all weak.
Stare downs are weak. If you're not stepping over someone, that should not be a tech for looking at them.
No. I mean, Pascal Siakam should not have gotten a tech. Pat Bev definitely should not have gotten a tech. No. Like, the thing is, the too small... Like... Are you, James Capers, going to do that every time you see a too small now?
Pat Bev had to try so hard to not do too small after.
He almost reflexively did that. And I was like, no, Pat Bev, you're going to get ejected for doing the too small twice in a row. You're going to be clowned so hard. Rowan is going to clown you. By the way, Rowan, I still beat you in a rap battle. But
oh, no.
I don't care.
I don't think Rowan would clown Pat Bev.
No, that's fair. Rowan's respectful of Pat Bev.
Yeah. But Portis, like, it was I didn't think it was like crazy soft. I mean, I thought he had like two separate pretty aggressive shoves, which, I mean, it's like, yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, he hit him in the head.
You just have to know the situation. And again, the part that pisses me off, it was a Khris made bucket. Why are you so aggressive? That's good for the team. And then suddenly the Pacers get a technical as well as Chris's free throw,
Here's the thing,
and you're out.
Bobby got upset because he's not strong enough to deal with Andrew Nembhard. Like, he is a guy who's like 6 inches shorter than you, and he's tangled like in your arms on a rebound attempt. Like, yeah, that's what smaller guys do. That's what they have to do. And you are you're 6'10", my guy. You should be able to just deal with Andrew Nembhard on a box out.
He and the Bucks have not been able to deal with Andrew Nembhard in any facet, which is sad.
It's just take me out back. Like, just I'm sick of it.
Yeah. They need Bobby to keep us cool and to be great out there, and just everyone. I mean, but it's like, I don't know, man. Unless I think you need one of Giannis or Dame back, because I did think in this game you could kind of see like the Bucks are just running on fumes unless they get an outlier shooting game the other way. Indiana shot 51% from three, Milwaukee shot 36%. But the problem is Indiana just takes way more, and it's like they are mostly good looks. So you kind of just need to get lucky.
The Bucks are letting them get good looks because they're collapsing on drives again. Like they've quote unquote solved the Pascal Siakam problem. Like, he's not going for 30 in games. He's had back-to-back sub 20 point games. He had 17 in game 3, 13 in game 4. And you've sort of like quote unquote solved that, but he's also getting his assists up. Like everyone's getting their assists up. Andrew Nembhard, 9 assists. Pascal Siakam, 7 assists. TJ McConnell, 8 assists. Like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's just they can't take everything away, and they can't even take like what they take away one thing, and it means there's like just a gaping hole, not like another slight advantage for Indiana, which is problematic.
I'll tell you what though, they won the bench minutes this game.
I hope Ajax starts game 5.
I hope so too, but again, 4 fouls in 25 minutes.
I think you just got to try and get off on the right foot and see what you can do.
Yeah, Dame, Ajax, Khris, Bobby, Brook.
Or Giannis if he's ready.
I think just that's the thing though, because it's like part of me wants this series to just end so I can give up all hope,
and so no one gets hurt worse. Yes. That's my new goal for the rest of the postseason.
Like, don't have anyone miss time next season because of this.
Yeah, or just like even in the off season.
Yeah,
like camp or whatever.
But as long as there's a chance Giannis and Dame play, I'm gonna be like, yeah, the Bucks can win 3 in a row.
100% they can.
100%.
We just can't know.
I mean, think about how satisfying that would be too.
It'd be very satisfying. I mean, it's been a pretty long time now since Giannis had the injury that, with the timeline was what, like 2 to 3 weeks? Has it been 2 to 3 weeks?
Yes, it has.
So it's like maybe he will be ready.
I mean, when did he get hurt?
It was the Boston game.
Oh no, my Bucks app needs an update. Oh no.
That was April 9th. So it's been 20 days. So 3 weeks as of tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what we hear. If there's practice or anything today, or obviously the injury report today, and then I wonder if
Doc's just word. Like, don't practice. Don't even like give yourselves a shot of hurting yourself.
Doc doesn't go in the training room. He's not a doctor.
No.
He will make you say it.
By the way, yeah, he's back to Doc now. I was just mad last game.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. He hasn't done anything wrong.
I know. You see people that make these jokes about Doc. Doc this, Doc that. It's like, dude,
what do you want Doc to do? What do you want?
Come on.
Like, he's not Eric Spoelstra. Okay, we knew that.
I mean, Spoelstra's going to be gentleman swept too. There's just a certain limit where you just can't make up things anymore.
That's crazy.
We all thought it would be great if Miami could do it, and that game 2 was super fun. And then Boston just played like their average game 3, and it was like another blowout. They're just way better.
No. Hey, there's only one coach who's ever swept Spoelstra.
Bud?
Yeah.
That's the only time it's ever... Well, yeah. I suppose. Wow.
Only time it's ever happened.
Did they win 2 against Denver?
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
It is. Was that the... Yeah, I think they did.
I think they did. I thought they won 2 games now. I could be wrong.
Not gonna lie, I checked out of that finals.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is a good playoffs. I'm not going to be watching games every day if the Bucks get knocked off, though.
I've been watching games assuming the Bucks are going to get knocked off.
I've still watched quite a bit of games, but
who are the okay? We'll end with this. Who are the teams you would be okay, like would quote unquote root for to win the title aside from the Bucks? For me, it's Orlando, OKC, and Minnesota.
I was going to say probably no one in the East. I mean, Orlando.
What's going on with the Cavs?
Oh, I think Mitchell's hurt too.
Yeah.
And I think Garland has been like a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave him like, hey, you're going to be like Dame money, and he's been like, I don't know, worse Mike Conley.
Mike Conley's been really good though.
That's what I mean. That's worse.
Yeah.
Which is not what you wanted. The Wolves I'd be okay with. Did you say the Wolves?
Wolves and Thunder and Magic.
I won't mind if the Nuggets win. I mean, it's whatever. It's bad for Giannis's legacy, whatever. But, I mean, it's like I think they are the best team.
Yeah, just not Boston.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I wouldn't care if most West teams win, to be honest. I'd be okay with most all of it.
I'll root for the small markets.
That's good. Yeah.
And I'll always root for Oklahoma. When my parents first came to the country, they lived in Oklahoma, so I'll always have a soft spot for Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah, they're probably going to either sweep or gentleman's sweep here. I forgot they were up 3-0.
Yeah. I mean,
Pels needed that game 1. Pels needed that game 1.
No Zion. What can you expect?
Yeah.
BI is Ugh, disappointing. I think at one point at halftime during that game, I saw someone from the Pelicans Twitter. I forget who it is. They posted a photo they had on the jumbotron at Smoothie King. It was like Brandon Ingram offensive rating in the first half 70.4. Like that's on the jumbotron. Like,
yikes! Yeah. Maybe skip that graphic.
No, they were saying keep it up there for when he comes back in the second half.
Jesus. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't like it, but I feel like out of all the East teams who could actually, I would prefer Knicks over Celtics.
Yeah, Knicks would be fine.
I mean, they'll be even more insufferable, but
yeah, that's what it's like. The 10 Magic fans I'd be happy for.
Yeah. It'd just be kind of fun if the Knicks could actually do it. Like, just watching them win a title by just, like, getting 1,000 rebounds. It would be it'd be kind of funny to watch.
Oh man, I think OG Anunoby is the perfect Tibbs player.
Yeah,
like what did he have? Like with Hartenstein falling out, you had
yeah, he's just like their center for a while.
He's like okay. I mean, they had Precious Achiuwa out there giving them good minutes.
He looked amazing.
It was like just wow.
They found something with that team.
They did. They just got Tibbs a bunch of Tibbs players.
Yeah, they just like leaned fully into it.
Do you think now that he has OG, he's like the I don't want to play with you anymore to Taj Gibson? I mean, I know Taj Gibson's not on the team, but in terms of like Tibbs' favorability,
he's probably up there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's the only reason Taj has been in the league the last 2 years.
Was he Detroit?
Yeah, I think Detroit.
They were just like, sure, we need more adults, I guess. Like maybe you just need guys who can play Detroit.
Hey, Pat Connaughton, man. I'll tell you what, he's a real positive asset. You might need to give us some. Do we want anything from Detroit?
Picks, yeah. Take a second rounder.
We'll take your first round pick this year.
Start rebuilding the Jay Crowder package.
Troy Weaver's like, man, I just needed to get Pat.
They get Pat and John Horst. The Bucks get a first round pick. That's a good trade. That's a good trade. Like if the Bucks, hey, maybe Milt Newton was the real genius behind everything this whole time. That's going to be interesting to watch, too.
Yeah. For those unaware, there was a report from Mark Stein that the Pistons are targeting John Horst as one of the candidates for their new president of basketball operations position.
Yeah, they're basically cucking poor Troy Weaver.
Yeah. They're making him
that is what that is. I mean, you have a boss now. You're still the GM, but you do not make the calls anymore.
No, and we're making you find the guy.
Yeah. Yikes.
They got him in the chair, man. Like,
yeah, I mean
3 tickets to Challengers, please.
When you have the worst season in Detroit Pistons history, when they haven't won a playoff game for like a decade, I kind of get why.
Yeah, not even a playoff series, a playoff game.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I meant. Yeah.
It's so much fun talking about other teams.
I know. Oh, yeah, Bucks Tuesday night, 8:30 p.m. Central.
Horrible.
On TNT.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Bucks fans, show out for that game. Show out for that game.
Yeah.
I will not be at that game, but show out for that game. I cannot. And the reason I'm saying that is because the one game I went to this year, they lost, so you know.
Yeah, I'm following that rule too.
You haven't been to a game though.
It's also Tuesday night.
That is fair.
It's not great for someone who's not in the city. But yeah, I think need a great crowd. Need everyone, whoever can suit up. Just like it sounds dumb, but the analysis is literally like you just got to be great. Like whoever plays,
they might call you down from the crowd. Like Price is Right style.
Seriously. I wonder if they made a call up to the suite in Indy. Like, can we get Caitlin for a couple possessions?
See what happens.
Could maybe contribute more than Boss Man.
Oh, absolutely. Like, not a doubt in my mind.
Intern Man 99.
That's shout out Andrew for that. That was incredible.
Yeah, AC snide with that one.
What's your score prediction for game? You know what? We don't have to.
116, 112 Bucks.
117, 110 Bucks.
Assuming one of Giannis or Dame plays. If not, then maybe like 110 to 80 because I worry they're just going to run out of gas.
Khris Middleton might just not. He won't be able to jump even less than.
An asteroid has just hit Khris Middleton in his bicep, and he's staying out there. Middleton. Yeah,
it just hit the Bucks bench, but that's it.
The Jumbotron fell on Khris Middleton. He's going to stay out there. He's crawling up the floor.
He's currently on crutches trying to play basketball.
Somebody online, of course. Classic.
Trade him.
So injury prone.
The refs give him a tech for having a crutch out there. James Capers has ejected Khris Middleton for being in the way of the Jumbotron.
I would probably thank him at that point. Please get Khris out of here. For his, can we eject Khris for his own safety?
It's like that meme. It's like, stop giving me your toughest battles. How are you still alive?
That has been Khris.
Man, I can't get a 22 is up in the rafters, guaranteed. Statue's there. I respect the hell out of that, man. James
Pascal Siakam just DDT'd Khris Middleton.
Oh my god. Oh, I can imagine.
Please stay healthy, Khris.
Khris is out there playing with his left arm in a sling, just like shooting jump shots one hand. He's like, "Oh, it's all right, coach. I only need my right hand anymore."
Malik Beasley's like, "No, you guard Tyrese. Come here."
The same. Khris Middleton, he's like that. Yeah, I think you made this joke. He's that guy from SpongeBob where he's all just covered in a bodysuit.
Yeah. My leg.
Then he's like, hey, and then he's like, oh man, you got to be the last guy in the stack, man.
Yeah, you got this.
You got. And Khris is like, you know what? Hand up, my bad. That's on me.
Sorry, guys.
Oh man. Oh.
When you're in this situation, what else can you do but just laugh?
Yeah.
At the absurdity.
It's so tough, man. That was a wild ass game to watch.
Just seeing Khris run at the tunnel, it's just like, dude, you've got to be kidding me. Come on.
Run to the tunnel. He was helped to the tunnel.
Hey, he's not giving up.
No.
I appreciate him for that because these last two games really could have been ugly.
They could have been 40-point games, 50-point games.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, if this was a 50-point game 4, no one would be upset.
No, I mean, you could tell the announcers were like stunned that it was a game in the second
Spiro
half.
was like, what the hell's happening?
But he tried to play it both ways. He's like, it's an incredible performance from Indiana. It's like they're up 10 with neither of Milwaukee's best two players playing at all. And Milwaukee's third best player on half a leg. Like, is it that incredible of a performance, really?
No.
Because Tyrese's back is sore? That's fine. Miles Turner has 30 points.
Yeah. Fake team. They're going to be humbled in the next round.
Or in this round.
Hey, who knows? They could be. It'd be very satisfying. It'd be a storybook perfect ending for Giannis to come back and just end the Pacers.
Yeah.
It would be. And we shall see what happens. Potentially the last game of the last game of the season might be Tuesday, tomorrow. But yeah, we've had some fun here. We'll have a pod here. I don't know why I'm doing this. This will not be the last game. I will say that this will not be the last game. But you know, it's been we've been having pods for you guys here after every episode, and that'll continue for Game 5 on Tuesday at 8:30. It'll be a late one. Oh God, we said it was the last one of the season, and we were wrong with that West Coast trip. Oh, we said it was the last late start.
Oh.
It's not.
That's true.
8:30 in Milwaukee is crazy. But
I get why they're putting Knicks Sixers on first. There's no West Coast games on.
No. I mean, yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but it's still annoying.
Way to go, Suns.
Yeah, good job, Suns. Way to get swept. Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway. At least we're not the Suns. So that's good.
That's all we've got at this point.
But yeah, thanks for listening to this episode here on Blue Wire and GSPN, brought to you by Prize Picks. Make sure you check out all of our pods at gspn.info. Good Packers stuff, draft recap coming your way.
Yeah.
Brewers stuff. Ooh, tough series against the Yankees, but you know what? It's fun. Yeah. Hey, they got that Joey Ortiz walk-off. The Joey Ortiz game was a thing. That was fun to watch, fun to see. But yeah, check out everything at gspn.info. Pod random, and we'll talk to you next time.